Live Launch TV here today with Chris Turner in the studio. So Chris, what makes you tick for the last 30 years plus?
I work with a number of well-known bands, Buffalo, Rose Tattoo, Scattered Aces, Jeff St. John, Stevie Ray, and I'm able to go in, learn their music, walk away, then I usually go back to one of my own bands. I've got the Blues Pirates, which is an acoustic blues band. I've got the Wolf Tones, which is a pub rock, drunk rock band, and I've got the Cavemen, which is my fun band. So I'm able to step back into those. I also do solo work and occasionally duo work. So I mean, basically I keep myself busy playing guitar. Rose Tattoo was not like a band where everyone was signed up and you were in. Basically when you walked off stage, everyone was out of the band. When you walked on stage, you were in the band. And I was in and out of the band many times. They had line-up troubles and nervous breakdowns, and one minute I'd be playing slide, then I'd be playing rhythm. And, you know, just, yeah, Rose Tattoo was not what I would call a party band. It was a brute force band, party band, much more friendly. I enjoyed my couple of years with Buffalo. Yeah, Buffalo was, you know, a working, tour-hardened band. I mean, we worked 6-7 nights a week, and I mean, think one time there we went on the road for 10 weeks without coming home, and I mean that breeds a solid type band.
And what's your feelings on the music industry at this point, on the Australian music industry? Where do you think it's heading in the live scene at the moment?
Well, Sydney is in trouble because there's no venues to play for the young kids. And for the older musicians like myself, we're all sort of struggling around 2 or 3 venues which seem to be trying to shoot themselves in the foot. Hopefully it'll come right. There's new laws coming in July, which we're all waiting for. So I think Sydney's in trouble. Apparently Melbourne's good, but I haven't been to Melbourne for many years. But I think the main trouble in Australia is the Aussie cringe is still alive and well. If it's local, it can't possibly be any good, which of course is bullshit. It's just perceptions. The other thing that's happening in Australia is that we don't seem to look after our older statesmen, musicians. I mean, Killer Joe Lane recently died. An unsung hero, and he was one of the greats of jazz, and he just faded away. He couldn't get a gig, and I find that very sad that we don't look after our older performers and musicians. But anyway, that's the country we live in. The other thing that's killing music is sport. Too much sport. I'm probably going to get emails about this one, but there's, you know, sports for Saturday afternoon, Sunday morning, you know. But it's because of the Murdoch Packer thing. It's infiltrated Friday nights and Saturday nights, and I am personally quite sick of playing to drunken sportsmen shouting at a TV screen. It's not doing much for art.
Where do you see the Wolf Tones going? Your band, the Wolf Tones, it's been around for how long?
10 years. The Wolf Tones are being around for 10 years. They're pretty much sort of set where we're going to go. We might do another album. We're talking about it, and I'm writing material for the Wolf Tones, but it's pretty much set, having been around for 10 years doing the pubs and that's, you know, it's a pretty good act, you know, it's, you know, it's old school act, that one. The Blues Pirates, I think, is quite modern, although we're doing blues. Some of the songs and materials I work with Cletus Carr, and I think that's quite modern world blues almost, you know. If people like blues, they should like the Blues Pirates. That fits into smaller venues, so that's quite good for Sydney at the moment, where there's no huge pub rock venues. And the Cavemen are a 3-piece, just fun band, just stuff from the back of the cave to the front of the cave, old material, new material, whatever I write out. I write out song lists just before the gig, and the boys in the band glare at me. Say, what are we doing that one for? So yeah.
So the Wolf Tones will continue playing in Sydney at this point?
Yes, we're going to be looking for a new home fairly soon, but we'll see. We'll play that one by ear and see what happens there. So that's the business, you know. The people who would like that type of pub rock are sort of catching on, and you know, over the 10 years we've had huge crowds down to moderate crowds, you know.
And tell me a bit about Big Rock Radio. What does Big Rock Radio stand for, and how did it get started?
Oh, okay. Well, I'm involved in a small record label, Big Rock Records. Basically, we have lots of artists who don't want to muck around with the major labels and overseas players, because there's an incredible jerk around factor with all these you know, you rehearse it in the garage for 12 months, you record an album, you jerk around, you do a showcase gig, and the record company doesn't turn up. It's 3-4 years of your life, and only a few of them get through, and that's because of the tax system in Australia. We won't go there, but yeah. So we basically a label where the guys come put their product on our label, and once they're on our label, available for people to buy on Big Rock Records, we put them on Big Rock Radio. So there's no dramas about getting airplay. It's 24/7 on streamed on the web.